Hey, what's up YouTube, and welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to be going over the Specialized Epic 8. We have a S-Works model here and an Expert model over here, and kind of just going to go through each bike. And we think it's the ultimate trail bike, cross-country bike, gravel bike. It's kind of like that one bike to do it all. This one we have the flight attendant, this one we have the twist lock. So we're kind of going to go over each bike and similarities, differences, and why we personally think it's kind of like the best do-it-all bike. Like I said, gravel, trail, it just does everything so well. And with flight attendant, it's so seamless. It's mind-blowing. So if you haven't yet, like and subscribe to the channel. It'll help us out, and you'll be able to get some great future content for yourself and bike reviews and riding clips. So yeah, let's get to it. Okay, so let's go over this one. This one is the S-Works model with the 12M carbon. Couple things that I've been changing off the bat. This is a size large. I'm 5'10". Specialized bikes, what I've realized with the stump jumper and the Epics, they run a bit smaller. So like a large is almost like a medium large. But again, 5'10"-ish. I'm riding a large. Fits perfectly. I think it's like a 470-ish reach. But things I've changed already is comes with a 34 tooth chainring, and it is a power meter, but it comes with the 34. I've been using a 36 and a 38. The 38 I'll use if I want to get more power and I'm doing a little bit more gravel riding instead. But right now I have it for the 36. I've been doing a little bit more mountain riding. I did change the crank length to 160. The large comes with, 165. The larges come at 175. So, I did change these to a shorter crank. The larges I was hitting the cranks on a lot of rocks and technical sections, so it was nice to shorten the cranks. I did get a 150 dropper instead of a 170 that came stock. I do like a shorter drop on the cross-country bike, so that was a good add-on. What else? Oh yes, a 180 rotor comes with the 160, so I did add a 180 rotor, which is great. It does come with the new levels. 4-piston, which is nice. But those are the things that I've added. I've been going on and off with the Maxxis Aspens and the stock tires. I put back on the stock tires, Renegade in the rear and a Fast Track in the front. Things that I've taken off is I don't really use the tire whizzes, so I actually put on reserve valves, and these are like the best valves ever. They won't let air out. They're not finicky, they don't break. The tips, very sturdy valves. So I think one of the best things you can get are the reserve valves if you're not using tire whiz. Again, I'm not always on my phone, so I don't need to be looking at what my pressure is. I kind of just, before the ride, I have a tire gauge and boom. Another thing is the carbon cages. I switched out for the Silca titanium cages. So these carbon cages that come stock on it, they kind of move up and down. No matter when you torque them to spec, they move around and rattle. So I kind of just ditched all the carbon cages and went with the Silca cages. So that's been a good little upgrade in itself. So the bike is a 120 travel bike. Probably one of the most capable cross-country bikes to date. I mean, seriously, the tracks are getting a lot beefier for these World Cup racers. They want a little bit more travel, a little bit burlier of a bike. The new Epic is almost like the old Epic Evo with a lot of geo changes, but again, it used to never be like you would have a 120 travel rear, cross-country bike. It would be like 100 or 115, So it's getting into that trail category of suspension, but the geo is different. With a cross-country bike, you're sitting kind of on the bike. A trail bike, you're sitting in the bike. So you still have that on the top feeling with this bike. And with the RockShox flight attendant front and rear, it kind of makes it, like I said, like that one and done bike. If you're doing cross-country, light trail, gravel, this thing flies. I mean, again, I've done an 80-mile gravel ride. I've done 30-mile mountain bike rides. You can just do it all on this bike. And because the suspension locks up whenever you want, or you can, kind of engage it when you want. When you're hitting the pavement or you're going on a gravel route, you're going to be able to keep up the majority of the time with some gravel riders, but you're not going to be super slow. Again, you're going to be able to lock out, and you can also play with the settings within each mode. So, that's a huge plus. But again, I think what a big difference for for how cross-country bikes have changed throughout the years. To be able to do just everything on this bike, it's been so much fun. And I come from like pure mountain bike, like enduro, downhill, trail. So, you know, I still ride a lot of those categories, but I've been doing also quite a bit of gravel, road, and cross country. So again, like if you're blurring the lines, you're a cross country rider and you kind of want one bike to do it all. You like to do gravel rides with your, you know, cross country bikes. This is the bike. If you like to do some rowdy trails too with a short travel bike, like this is, I have not bottomed this out. I've done 5-7 foot drops and this thing is a tank. It's great and it gives you the confidence. So you can, the head angle is pretty good too. It has a flip chip in the back. In the high, it's a 66.4 degree head angle. You flip that, you flip it to the low, it's a 65.9. You know, what cross-country bikes have a 65.9 degree head angle? You know, that's like trail bike category. So it really is a cool thing, like the one and done, like I said. But the next part is, do you need the S-Works model? I would say, if you're looking for it, do not get butthurt if you can't get this S-Works model. The experts are like just as good. Again, like if I was doing this again, or if I was recommending to someone, I would say you get the expert model and you can upgrade it, you know, from there. Again, the expert comes with GX axis transmission, which is still amazing in itself. They're giving you these roval control wheels with DT Swiss 350 hubs. They're not like your intro level, you know, hubs or like, you know, wheel set. This is the same wheel set that comes on the Pro model. You're gonna get the Sid Lux Select and you're gonna get the Sid Lux Select in the front. Oh, you ruined it, you. Oh, we were so really interrupted by my cousin. Ooh.
Get some bike stuff going.
Oh, man. He'll get butthurt at this part. He's got a 2023 Switchblade and you can flip the chip here and it gets slacker than a 2023 Switchblade, which is insane. So yeah, cross-country bikes. Anyway, I think, yeah, if you're looking for a model, this is an ideal model like I was going over before I was interrupted. You got a great carbon wheel set. You got GX transmission. This is Connor's bike, the person who's filming. But he did switch out the GX 175 cranks to the XOs at a 165. So that's pretty much the only upgrade he's done. Actually, he did put some blippies over here, but that's neither here nor there. But I would say get something like this and you can just drop in the future. You don't have to get a whole new fork or anything. You can do a flight attendant upgrade. You can just drop in the module and the damper, and you know, there's ways to do it. So again, do you have to feel like you need to get this S-Works model? Absolutely not. Like this is just as capable. It does have the twist lock. So if you, again, I started off on this S-Works one, so I'm like very spoiled. It would be very hard for me to adjust to the twist lock. The flight attendant is just so seamless. Like I couldn't go back. But again, like you can get this bike. You don't have to feel like it's out of your budget not getting the S-Works one, and you can do these upgrades like later on. You know, this is a very light bike. I think this one's like 25-ish, you know, pounds around there. This one's like 23, 24. Not even like a crazy difference, but there's a difference in the carbon. This uses the 11M carbon. This one uses the 12M carbon. So the 12M is a much lighter carbon. But again, you know, you wouldn't be able to go wrong with the expert. I would even just say don't save your pennies and get an expert or a pro model, and you can do like upgrades from there. You know, this one again, you know, it comes with aluminum bars and stems, but these are things you can upgrade. It still comes with level brakes, not the ultimates though, but they're 4-piston. But again, you're getting, for I think they're $7,000 the expert, you're getting a very well packaged machine. You're not getting intro level wheels, you're getting some nice carbon wheels with some 350 hubs, which are easy to service. You're getting transmission off the bat. Both bikes do have internal frame storage, which is amazing. And we've been kind of using these bikes. We put on like hundreds of miles. We've been using them for long gravel rides. Again, I did an 80-mile gravel ride on here with some Aspen tires, so that rolled amazingly in lockout. We've done trail riding. I've done 30-mile trail rides, and even just not cross-country rides. And you know, it's a fully capable machine. The Epic Evo, this is the Epic, it's the same frame, but they just use a 130 travel fork instead of 120. So there are ways you can make the bike even more aggressive. I'm not going to really talk about that, but you can make it essentially, you know, a more trailier bike. So again, there's a lot of cool things with this bike that you can do. I'm not really going to do much more to this. It's kind of like I was able to explore. I got the 3D printed saddles. It is a full XX1 SL on what comes on the S-Works models. Has an integrated power meter. Yeah, I mean, it's a sweet bike, and I don't think anyone could go wrong. Again, this would be the one that I recommend. You can save a lot of money, but hey, if you have the money and you're in the market, this is, drop the money. This is great. Talking about the chain line right now, it does use a 52 and a 55 millimeter chain line. You kind of change it around when you're going, like, again, like you can do a 34, 36 tooth chain ring. I think you can use those at the 52 chain line. And then at 38 tooth, you need to, it's like a 55 chain line. So again, you're going from like 3 millimeter offset to 0 offset. It gets very confusing. I have changed the Q factor on when I'm using a 38 one tooth chain ring. I am using a longer spindle, dub wide crankset, and when I'm doing 36 and 34, I'm using a shorter one. Again, like, you don't have to, you could just use a dub wide for all these, but if you want to, like, kind of, there's a lot of math behind it, but if you want to get your chain line perfect, you'll kind of be switching in between different offset chain rings for when you're going from 36 to 38, and yeah, again, like, I've been just going back and forth with the dub wide ones, which is a different Q factor than the dub, a little bit longer of a spindle when I'm going from the 36 to the 38 tooth. If you know me, you know that I do a lot of just enduro or downhill mountain biking. So it's been fun the past year to kind of get into gravel, road, and cross country alongside doing all my normal mountain biking. So we were able to put a lot of time into these bikes, test them, and it's probably one of our best-selling full suspensions is the Epic. It's tried and true. You can't go wrong when you're looking for a cross-country bike, and it punches above its weight class. You can do a little bit more aggressive things, or you can just do like a lot of gravel riding, and it's gonna fly. So I really think it's a great bike to look at, especially if you're in the market nowadays. The geometry has gone so far. If you're in the area, you can always stop by. We're happy to help. We specialize in a lot of brands and categories for mountain bikes, cross-country bikes, e-bikes, everything, gravel, road. So stop by, we can help you get your stuff. If not, enjoy the content. You can always reach out to us, and yeah, look out for some future videos. Yeah.